Hello. Today I want to talk to you about the first two steps in healing from an eating disorder. And these two things, I feel like, at least for me, have been the bedrock of my recovery, have been what has helped me carry through and gotten me through relapses and tough times. Some of the biggest reasons why, I finally went and got the help that I needed, though I had been trying to help myself by myself for a long time. So here they are. The first thing is to start to pay attention and notice how your eating disorder is affecting your everyday life. How is it affecting your relationships? How is it affecting work? How is it affecting school? How is it affecting your well-being and your sleep? So, at least for me, I was starting to notice that because of my eating disorder behaviors, I actually felt more disconnected from the people in my life, especially after engaging. I had a secret panic. I had something I was figuring out behind the scenes. I had this deep sense of self-consciousness and maybe even secretiveness around what I was doing. It really impeded my connection with others, and there came to this point where I really wanted that. And so I was watching that and watching how it subtly would affect even my relationships with my parents or my brothers. When I was much younger, I went through a period where I wouldn't even have friends because I felt that I was at the wrong weight and I could only have friends when I was at a certain weight. But then, lo and behold, I would get to that weight and I would find that I was too consumed with behaviors to have time for friends. So just start to pay attention and see how is my eating disorder affecting my relationships? Then also start to think about how it affects you at work and school. Do you lack concentration? Are you in a whirlwind because you're binging or purging in places that you're not supposed to, and that's actually taking away from the tasks that you're being given? How is that, affecting your effectiveness and your ability to show up there as your best self every day? I recommend even writing a list and seeing everything that your eating disorder has taken from you, all the subtle ways that it's hurt you, and the way that it affects your relationships and your life and your ability to experience joy and love of yourself and your connection with others. Another big thing is intimate relationships. How comfortable are you with your intimate partner? Are you always afraid that if you gain a little bit of weight, they won't love you anymore? Or it creates a lack of intimacy? Or are you not able to find a relationship because in some way, like the eating disorder is blocking it? These are all important things to look at. So that's the first thing. How has this thing affected you? Now, second, think about how long these behaviors have been going on. Has it been a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? And really think, how frequently has this behavior happened and for how long? So in my case, one of the things that really jump started me into recovery was I had this realization at one point, and my eating disorder was about 12 years long, but I realized that like every single week for 2 years straight, I had thrown up. Like, unless there was some odd situation where I really was not able to, I had thrown up every single week for 2 years. That's a long time. And in my head, it didn't feel like I had this long-standing problem because I would have a few days of recovery or feeling normal, quote unquote, or, be dieting and things would feel really good. So I would just assume that, or in my head, it was like this short-term, like long-term memory loss where I would think that like, oh, like if I had the few good days and then I started slipping up, oh, I'm just going through a difficult time right now. Like, I'm struggling right now, but I've done better in the past. This is just a hard time for me. And I would say that, and it would make it seem like the issue was very momentary and that it would be gone soon. But when I started to notice, oh no, this has been a long-standing issue, by actually thinking about it, how long it truly had happened, that really not only made me feel like sadness and pain, but made me recognize the severity of the problem. Yeah, that was one of the biggest things that I didn't fully comprehend before. And another thing I had realized, like at a certain point, is I used the term a decade, in my head. I was like, oh, basically I haven't gone 2 weeks in a decade without freedom from this thing in some way, shape, or form. Like, I have not had 2 weeks where I have not gone on a diet, thought about going on a diet and planned it, and or binged or purged or whatever, like engaged in eating disorder behaviors in some way. Like, I haven't had 10 years of freedom. Not even 2 weeks in 10 years. Like, and I'm not telling you my amount of time to be better than you or anything like that, but just like it's just like, as an example, like it makes it so much more real. And I'm gonna let you know that like 3 months with an eating disorder is too long. A year with your life consumed like that is too long. You have a precious life. You are precious, and you have joy and love to experience beyond anything that you know. And when you get through this and you actually have the freedom and the clarity and the peace of mind, you will be so grateful. And that's all I can tell you. But just recognize that. And when you see like how long it's been going on and how long it's hurt you, you really start to say, I don't want this anymore. And long enough into recovery, you say, I can't go back to that. I have a life to live. I can't go back to that anymore. And yeah, sometimes it takes going into immense states of suffering and loss to recognize that. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. But I just would say to you, I almost beg of you, just start paying attention. Start paying attention. See what this is really giving you. And is it ultimately what you want? All right, more videos to come. Thank you so much.